We in the city of New Carrollton are very excited to see the start of construction here at the metro station. We hope that this project will facilitate the growth and development of the New Carrollton metro station. It has been a long time in coming. I would like to personally thank the Governor and Lieutenant Governor Brown for considering Prince George's County and the New Carrollton area as the location of the headquarters of the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. Thank you very much. Mr. Baker, words cannot express our thanks to you for your help in pursuing development at all the metro stations, not only New Carrollton, but all in Prince George's County. That deserves a round of applause. Secretary Skinner, I look forward to warmly welcome you, your staff, and the employees to the area, to the city of New Carrollton. And if we can be of any help in relocating your offices here, please feel free to call on me, and we will still see that we can help you. And thank you for allowing me to be part of this great ceremony. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Secretary Skinner.
Good afternoon. What a great day, huh? All right. First of all, thank you, Mayor Hanko, and we do look forward to being your neighbor, and we look forward to continuing to work with you on the revitalization and redevelopment of the New Carrollton area. Let me first of all say good afternoon and welcome to everyone, and really want to thank everyone for taking time out from your busy schedules to be with us today. I'm really excited about this day. As the mayor said, it's been a long time coming, a long time coming. So we're going to make it happen. It's my honor and pleasure to actually serve as your Master of Ceremonies today as we celebrate the construction of the Department of Housing and Community Development new headquarters here in New Carrollton. So I'm going to be introducing the other speakers as we go along. We have a lot of important people here today. In fact, you are all very special and very important. But my job is to introduce just the elected officials. So we want to acknowledge the elected officials. And we have a lot of folks here today, so I'm just going to read the names. And can we hold the applause to the end? I know that's hard to do, but you know, you're smart folks. I think you can handle that, right? Okay. I'm not going to introduce the folks who will be speaking later, but we have several members from the Prince George's County Council, Councilmember Ingrid Turner, Eric Olson, who is actually going to be speaking. Where is he? He's right in front of me. Okay. Andrea Harrison, Obie Patterson. Anyone else from the council that I did not see? Okay, let's give the council a... oh, well, I'm going to introduce you later. Right. All right. Okay, and then we have several members of the Maryland General Assembly, starting with my senator, Senator Doug Peters. Don't clap until the end. Okay. Delegate Tawana Gaines, Delegate Carolyn J.B. Howard, Delegate Marvin Holmes, who's my delegate. Yeah. And is there anyone else? I didn't see anyone. Oh, I'm sorry. Delegate Ann Healy, right. Okay, stand up, right. We also have some representatives from our congressional delegation, from Senator Mikulski's staff, Nichelle Schultz. She's here. Senator Cardin's staff, Carlton Atkinson, and from Steny Hoyer's staff, Terrence Taylor. All right. So, is did I miss any other elected officials? Are there any members of the New Carrollton City Council here? I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but we'll give you a hand. Okay. Okay. So if anyone else comes in, I'll acknowledge them when they come in. So we're really breaking ground here on a new era for the people of New Carrollton, for the people of Prince George's County, and really for all the people in the state of Maryland. In just about a year, our department, DHCD, will become the first, yes, the very first state agency headquartered here in Prince George's County. That's right. And that fact alone really makes this a landmark occasion. But in addition, our new headquarters and the adjacent development will stand as a living, breathing testament to smart growth, creating jobs, fostering economic development, while at the same time reducing sprawl and congestion and conserving energy. This landmark transit-oriented development will feature a mixture of land uses that includes not only our offices for DHCD, which will be right here behind us, but will also include residences, retail space, shopping, entertainment, and other amenities. So we are truly sowing seeds for a vibrant future for this area. And a lot of hard work and a lot of hard-working and visionary people helped to make this day happen. Many of them are on the program, and so I'll be introducing them later. But I would like to acknowledge some of the people who've been involved in this project. First, of course, our county executive, Sherman Baker, my county executive, since I do live in Prince George's County. I mentioned the county council members. The county's economic development team has just been fabulous in helping us put this together. David Iannucci and Aubrey Thagard, I know they are both here, but also the county planning department and the new department of, make sure I get this right now, Department of Permitting, Inspections, and Enforcement. I want to thank the staffs at those departments for everything that they've done in terms of expediting the entitlements and the permitting process so that, in fact, we could be here today. And as I came in, the developer told me that they now have their building permit, so they're ready to actually get in the ground and start building. And, of course, I'd like to thank our development partner, Berman Enterprises, for putting together what is really a great project, one that we can really all be proud of. So let's give the developer a hand. And finally, I'd like to thank my fellow cabinet members, the Department of General Services, Al Collins, whose department handled the procurement that did the actual selection of the developer, and Michael Gaines, who was the point person on the project, is here, I know, and also Jim Smith, Secretary of Transportation. Now, Jim's agency, working in conjunction with WMATA, will be developing another TOD mixed-use project just on the other side of the tracks. Actually, that parking lot that you see where all the cars are parked, that's going to be also a TOD mixed-use development. And I certainly would be remiss if I didn't thank the hardworking and dedicated and committed staff at DHCD, who on a day-to-day basis are working with our communities around the state, working with all of you to build more affordable housing, to revitalize and redevelop communities all over the state. And I know we have a number of staff people here, so can you, DHCD staff, raise your hand, wave your hand? Let's give them a hand. And finally, and most especially, I want to give just great thanks to Governor O'Malley and to Lieutenant Governor Brown, who made the commitment to the people of Prince George's County, and again, I'm one of them, people of Prince George's County, that they would bring a state agency headquarters here, and today they are keeping that promise. So now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce our Lieutenant Governor and former delegate from the 25th Legislative District here in Prince George's County. So please join me in welcoming our Lieutenant Governor, Anthony Brown.
Wow, what an exciting day. What an exciting week in Prince George's. Mr. County Executive, he starts off by a surprise visit by President Barack Obama, delivering a $7 million check for more career technology education in our schools, the Youth Career Connect grant program, and we not quite finished the week, so who knows what's in store for tomorrow. But $160 million plus a project here in New Carrollton. What an exciting week, and Prince George's County is on the move. Let me just also say thanks to a few people as well. Certainly want to thank the captain of Team Prince George's County, Rashawn Baker, our county executive, and his able partners on the county council with Mel Franklin as the chair, and just a wonderful crew of dedicated public servants. In the 22 years that I have been in Prince George's County, and which is the entirety of my time here in Maryland, I can't say that I've ever seen the council and the county executive work so closely together. And I can't tell you, as I travel around the state, how important that is. If you're going to deliver for your constituents, it's that cohesiveness that's, maybe not a monotone or a singular voice, but certainly of voices that are on the same sheet of music. Because everything we do on behalf of the people we serve requires all sorts of partnerships. The private sector, who only has confidence in the public sector when the public sector has our acts together, right? State government, who can partner with local government only when they see in local government servants who have their act together, and state government that partners with the federal government only when the federal government looks at the state and local, says they've got their act together in Maryland. And you know what? We've got our act together in Prince George's County. We certainly do. So I want to thank the county exec. Ray, thank you very much for your perseverance, your leadership, the work that you've done. He's one of the founding members of the O'Malley Brown administration, as is Al Collins, joined by Secretary Smith, and do an outstanding job leading large, important agencies in service to the people of Maryland. So I want to thank you as well. Mayor Hanko, you're doing a great job. True story, I was in the governor's office. Constituent called. He put it on speakerphone because it was a big problem. He thought he needed the lieutenant governor to help as well. Constituent described a very weighty matter. Governor and I looked at each other, didn't want to say not our job, but we knew that, it's probably a matter better left to the mayor. We said to this constituent, Madam, have you thought about calling your mayor? She said, I would have, but I didn't want to start at the top. So thank you for what you do. To the members of the General Assembly, thank you very much. We would not be here. The Prince George's County delegation on the House and the Senate side did a lot of blocking and tackling to make this happen. They really did. When you're moving a major state agency, it does trigger some sort of territorial and turf conversations and battles. And they were superb. You all were superb, ensuring that the funding was there and that this happened without interruption. So I really want to thank each and every one of you. And to the Berman family, Berman Enterprise, thank you for your vision. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? So look, I've got some brief prepared remarks, but before I offer them, let me just say this. 8 years ago, the governor and I were at Bowie State University, and we said, we are going to deliver a major state agency to Prince George's County. And there were some that said, it can't happen. And we're here today. Some who said it took too long, but nevertheless, we're here today. But I do want to commend the governor for his leadership and his commitment. But I also want to thank someone who I don't think is here and who deserves a lot of credit, and that's my first chief of staff, Earl Adams. And let me just say why. Because when we took office, we came headwind with budget deficits and then followed up with a recession. We looked for ways to invest in transportation infrastructure, to increase historic investments in our schools, to make college more affordable. There was a lot of whirlwind going on in our day-to-day in Annapolis, and then some. But Earl Adams led the task force, and I think, Tawana, you may have been on that task force, that studied bringing an agency to Prince George's County. They looked at a number of agencies. And then after the forceful testimony in front of that agency by Ray Skinner, who wanted to just have a shorter commute, we decided on bringing the Department of Housing and Community Development. But In all seriousness, he's not here today, but I mean, he really helped us keep our eye on the ball. And then when we were all able to, again, to refocus, they had laid a lot of groundwork. So I want to thank Earl. I think it makes sense that DHCD would have its headquarters here, in addition to Ray's Shore Commute, because this is an agency that is it's committed to building strong communities throughout our state and throughout our county. And so many of the programs that you work on, the impact is acutely felt here in Prince George's County. I think about your Community Legacy Program and providing grants to small businesses around the state, and a number of them right here in Prince George's County, in Capitol Heights, and the work that you do in helping low-income homeowners in Bladensburg and around the state. Saving money on the utility bills by renovating their homes. Through the Neighborhood Business Works program, we've helped renovate businesses and communities throughout our state. I think about businesses like Arrow Bicycle and Big Bad Wolf in Hyattsville. And through the Low-Income Tax Credit Program, we're supporting hundreds of affordable housing units across the state and right here in Prince George's County. And I think about projects like Ross Overlook Apartments and Gateway Village. It only made sense that we brought the Department of Housing and Community Development to a county that benefits so greatly and can partner so closely with this agency. But these are projects that are community supporting, community building efforts, job creating, economy growing projects. With the first phase of this project alone, and I'm sure you'll hear more about it, we're going to invest $166 million into this community, building 500 residential units, 65,000 square feet of retail space, and opening the new headquarters of the DHCD by 2015. And by the time the entire project is completed, we'll have 2,400 residential units, 100,000 square feet of retail space, and a 300-room hotel. And together we're going to create over 450 direct jobs while generating $8 million in economic benefit for Prince George's County. So we're really excited about that. I saw that smile on your face there, Mr. County Exec. But we're not just building big, we're also building smart. I remember in 2008 it was. We announced our transit-oriented development program, our strengthened program right here in Prince George's County, because we saw so much potential throughout the state, and particularly in Prince George's County, with a number of underdeveloped metro stations. And we see over the next 20 years, as we welcome and grow by 1.1 million Marylanders, the real potential of accommodating that growth, particularly in our transit-oriented developments, as more and more people call Maryland and Prince George's home, and we build strong and sustainable communities. That commitment starts with transit-oriented development at the state and the local level, and as a state, we've designated 16 different TOD sites. And with County Executive's Plan 2035, we think there are tremendous investments right here in Prince George's County. I think about not only this project, and let's keep the light shining on this project, at least for today, but let us not forget as well that in the very near future, we'll be breaking ground on a regional hospital center at the Largo Metro Center. Let us not lose sight of our combined effort at every level, which we demonstrate our singularity of voice just 2 weeks ago as we position Maryland, as we position Prince George's County to attract the FBI to Prince George's County. And I know what the county executive loves, that Greenbelt site. 3 TODs. But this is great. Yes, indeed. He's not the only one. Okay, there you go. Did you hear that? So, look, this project is going to strengthen DHCD because it's going to enable DHCD to do its job and to do it with a lot more vigor. It's going to strengthen Prince George's County. It's going to strengthen the state of Maryland. It's just exciting to be here 8 years later when, after standing with Governor O'Malley, we could make this commitment to Prince George's County, its residents, and the people of Maryland. So let's get this done. Thank you very much for being here. Let's get this done.
Okay. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Brown. And I really do look forward to to that shorter commute that you talked about. We have a couple of other elected officials who have joined us. Delegate Alonzo Washington, here, someone. I was told he's here. And Delegate Michael Vaughn. Oh, I see here. Okay, Michael, back there. And County Council Member Karen Tolles. Hey, Karen. Okay. Let's see. Now I have the pleasure of introducing someone that I've known for many, many years. We met some time ago when he was a young attorney, I should say very young attorney, working for a nonprofit community development corporation in D.C., helping to revitalize the Georgia Avenue corridor. And at the time, I was already an old bureaucrat heading the D.C. Department of Economic Development, and Rashern and I were working together, really trying to help those businesses in the Georgia Avenue corridor. Of course, he went on to much bigger and better things, becoming a member of the General Assembly, and now, of course, our county executive, and I just ended up being secretary of DHCD. So let's give a warm welcome to our county executive, Rashern Baker.
Thank you, Ray, for that great introduction. He was a very, very young, not bureaucrat, because, you know, Ray was getting things done. And, you know, I liked the way he told the story that, you know, we were working together. Actually, he was saving me. I'll tell you the story. I first met him because my boss said, hey, we need to get our contract for development along Georgia Avenue, and we need some help. And she said, well, you're a lawyer, right? I said, yes. She said, go down there and see Ray Skinner and get him to help us. I said, well, I don't know Ray Skinner. She said, well, you're about to meet him. And I literally came to his office and pleaded with him and said, I need this job because I got a baby. So can you please help me? And it has been a great partnership since then. It's interesting that Ray brought that up because we were actually working to revitalize Georgia Avenue, U Street, 14th Street. Those areas in D.C. did not look like then what you see now. But what happened was there were people who were not bureaucrats, but visionaries like Ray, who saw the potential of not only growing businesses there, but people living and shopping there. That's the type of individual that sees the potential of this site. That's the kind of vision that was brought together for us to be here today. So can we give Ray another round of applause? Because this is not just about a short commute. This is about the future. And he's always been there. I also would like to thank my good friend and partner and guy who embraced me when I was a young delegate, and I actually did have hair and it was black, Mayor Andy Hanko. Thank you for sticking around for this. Give him a round of applause. So I'm like the cheerleader here, you know. We would not be here today if it was not for the members of the House and the Senate delegation who fought these years to make sure this happens. If they can just stand up one more time, let's give them a round of applause. They're really the ones who made it happen. I would not be able to stand up here today if it was not for the fact that I work with a great bunch of individuals on the second floor who are really nice and have a really good budget before them. No, I am truly, truly blessed that, you know, the lieutenant governor just said this to me as I was about to come up here, and he said, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. He said in the past, you would see council members come to projects in their individual districts. The projects he talked about that we've seen this week in Prince George's County, whether it's the FBI, whether it's our 5 transit station that we announced, whether it's here today, you see an array of the council members together. That hasn't happened before. That is because those individuals get it. They put their own districts aside for the betterment of Prince George's County because they understand if we grow all of these areas, Prince George's County grows. So can we give them another round of applause? I certainly want to thank Berman Enterprise for having the vision and tenacity to stick with it, continue to push it, and going to do a great project here. If we can give them a round of applause. And last but not least, in our jump start of transit-oriented development, what can we say? You know, when you make promises during the campaign, you know, sometimes you believe they're actually going to carry it out, and sometimes you're like, okay, they're just going to get elected. But the lieutenant governor, who comes from Prince George's County, is dedicated to making sure all Maryland rises, but especially the promises they made around transit-oriented development. Looked me in the eye. When I took over, I said, hey, I got to have that DHCD, and it'd be nice if it's before election.
I thought the same thing.
And he said, you know, don't worry, we're going to do it. I was like, I'm always worried. But I know you were pushing for this, and I want to thank you on behalf of Prince George's County. Can we give our very own Anthony Brown, our Lieutenant Governor, a round of applause? And please thank the governor also. I'll end with this. You know, the Lieutenant Governor talked about smart growth. It actually started with a governor from Prince George's County. Oh, I don't know if that has anything to do. Anyway, smart growth under Paris Glendenning. And the idea throughout the state, but especially in places like Prince George's County, where you had 15 underdeveloped and undeveloped metro sites, that we would focus in on those. And here we are some almost 16, 20 years later, and we're doing exactly that. And as the Lieutenant Governor mentioned, you know, we started off the week not just with the President coming here. We actually started the week with our jump start of transit-oriented development at the University Town Center. I want to thank Eric Olson for his work in making sure we're pushing, and Councilmember Will Campos for pushing projects like that. But at that announcement, we talked about projects like this that are going to go on in Suitland, Councilwoman Tolles, Largo, I don't know if Derek Davis is here, but those, Morgan Boulevard, Councilmember Harris, Greenbelt, wow, you know, all over the, just, you know what, think about it. Think about it. And we say it tongue-in-cheek as a council member shouted out the various places where Prince George's County is poised to do development. But if you think back some 5 years ago, 7 years ago, how many of you could have actually shouted that out without people having some semblance of doubt? There is no doubt right now that this is going to happen, not only DHCD, Greenbelt, Suitland, Morgan Boulevard, Largo, all these places in Prince George's County. Because the Post wasn't wrong. Prince George's County is on the move. Thank you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. And we have another elected official I'd like to acknowledge, Mayor Keto James from the town of Capitol Heights. The Lieutenant Governor mentioned a couple of the programs that we have at DHCD, Community Legacy. We also have something called the Strategic Demolition and Smart Growth Impact Fund. But Mayor James and the town of Capitol Heights have made great use of those funds. We've given them grants to actually acquire and assemble property around the Capitol Heights metro stations. That's one name we haven't heard mentioned yet, but we are going to be working with Capitol Heights on development, again, another TOD type development around the Capitol Heights metro station. So congratulations, Mayor James, on the great work that you're doing. This next gentleman, I've not known as long as I've known the county executive. But over the short period we've known each other, we've developed a good partnership and working relationship. So let's give a warm welcome to the Prince George's County Council Chair, Mel Franklin.
All right. Well, as you can see, we've got dirt moving in Prince George's County, don't we? All right. I'm excited about that. On behalf of the Prince George's County Council, my colleagues are here. We are glad that today is another great day in Prince George's County. Really, what you see here is another step in the partnership to bring in the world to Prince George's County. Whether when we were over in Largo talking about the Regional Medical Center, whether in Greenbelt, all in, were we? Talking about, or we were at College Park, but we're talking about Greenbelt, bringing the FBI to Prince George's County. Or we're talking about all of our other great sites that we have. And today, we are at yet another great day where we're talking about building destinations we want to bring the world to. We are moving away from being what we've been termed as a bedroom community to being a true place where everyone from around the world wants to be. Whether that's our TOD sites, whether that's at National Harbor, whether that's all throughout Prince George's County. But we can't do this alone. And when we talk about the partnerships, it's not a cliche, even though it sounds that way. It's really not. None of this happens by any individual agency or official alone. First, we have to give credit where credit is due. As the saying, promises made, promises delivered. The lieutenant governor and the governor made us a promise some years ago that we were going to bring a state agency here to Prince George's County, and today they're delivering on that promise. Let's not take that for granted. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Lieutenant Governor. But they couldn't do that alone. They had partners in the state legislature who had to fight to get this day to happen. We love our friends in other jurisdictions, but we know of the challenges that occur when you're moving a state department from one place to another. And our state legislators, our General Assembly, our local delegations fought long and hard. And we want to thank you for all that you did for us in making today happen. Let's give them another round of applause. And my colleagues earlier, we were joking about the various stations we were calling them. I got to ask all of them to stand again. All of my colleagues on the Prince George's County Council, please stand again. And you can have a seat. But I did that. But I did that for a reason. I want you all to know that we don't care what council district we're in. We don't care about whose side it is. What we care about is that Prince George's County and Maryland is succeeding. We care that our residents, who we work for, who believe that we should be here fighting day in and day out to make their lives better, that we should be doing that task and doing that job. And that's why we are united as one with our county executive, who is the captain of the economic development team in Prince George's County. And I joke with him that the path to greatness means we're bringing the world to the county, and that's exactly what it means. Thank you to you, sir. Thank you for you and your team, because we know they don't get all the credit that they deserve, and we know they're here all around the room. All of that together is what makes a day like today happen. So I just want to say this is just another step. We're going to have many more great days in Prince George's County, and the best is yet to come. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Council Chair Franklin. I mentioned the Prince George's, the DHCD staff earlier, but there's one person that I really want to signal out, and that is Deb Tolson, who's standing over here. I had to literally approve the plans for the building that's going to be behind us. So I had to actually literally sign my name on each floor plan. to say that DHCD approved it. But Deb was the person who really went over the floor plan with a fine-tooth comb, looking at every electrical outlet, every socket, every window, door, and so forth. So I really want to signal her out for the great job that she did. So let's give her another. And the person I'm going to bring up next can attest to that. The Berman Enterprises, of course, is the developer for this project. And they've just been a great partner to work with. And today we have literally dozens of Bermans here. Can all the Bermans raise your hand? We got a bunch of Bermans here. So, but we're only going to allow one of them to speak. So let me call up Adam Berman.
Good afternoon. I'm Adam Berman, one of the 6 members of the 3rd generation of Berman Enterprises. Thank you all for joining us today for the groundbreaking. We're very excited this day has come. We want to thank those people who have assisted in getting us where we are today. Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown, County Executive Rashawn Baker and his Administrative and Economic Development team, Maryland DHCD Secretary Ray Skinner and his staff, Maryland DGS Secretary Al Collins and his staff, Maryland DOT Secretary Jim Smith Jr. and his staff, the County Council, particularly Councilmember Eric Olson and his staff, and County Chair Mel Franklin and his staff. Mayor of New Carrollton, Andrew Hanko, Planning Board Chairman Elizabeth Hewlett, along with the Planning and Permits staff, DPI Director Haitham Majazi and his staff, and Governor Martin O'Malley and all the other dignitaries, citizens, county, state, and staff. I also want to thank my wife, Emily, and son, Zev, for being here today. He's there in the stroller. The Berman family has been developing real estate in Prince George's County for more than 60 years. The business climate now is the best we've seen, thanks to the leadership of County Executive Baker, the County Council, the Planning Board, and the new DPI. We are thrilled that the DHCD is relocating here in Prince George's County. Thank you to DHCD Secretary Skinner and DGS Secretary Collins and their staffs for their fantastic work coordinating the move. As we all know, when it comes to accessibility, New Carrollton Station is as good as it gets. It has Amtrak, Metrobus, Metro Rail, MARC, easy access to major highways. You could just keep listing off. Soon the Purple Line. Soon the Purple Line. You literally can go down there and catch a train to New York, which is, where else can you do that around the area other than Union Station? So, amazing. So, our fathers, and actually my dad's here today also, they began, there he is, the gray suit and the black glasses. They began buying this land 30 years ago with the vision that New Carrollton Station would become a premier, mixed-use urban center, bringing jobs and prosperity to Prince George's County and the state of Maryland. My brother's cousins and I are working hard to bring this vision to reality. And thanks to the leadership of Governor O'Malley, Lieutenant Governor Brown, and County Executive Baker, we're now here with shovels, breaking ground on the next phase of this exciting development. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. While DHCD is going to be the agency locating here, the agency that really put this together, and as I mentioned earlier, was responsible for doing the procurement to select the Bermans as a developer is the State Department of General Services. So I'm going to ask Al Collins, who's the Secretary of DGS, to come up and say a few words.
Good afternoon, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lieutenant Governor, my boss, Mr. County Executive, tons of elected officials, ladies and gentlemen, and certainly the developer who's already committed to me a number of times it will be on time and under budget. That's one of the requirements. It's a great opportunity for me, as the Secretary of DGS, to be here this afternoon. And I think there's one theme that I hear from all the speakers. It's about partnerships, and it's about new beginnings. And Mr. County Executive, I wasn't aware of all the tremendous projects you have coming on board, but I'm just excited. As you know, I've been around a while myself, and just to see how the county is moving forward with all of the economic development projects. And this is what this is all about. It's about sustainability. It's about economic development. It's about, as the governor and lieutenant governor taught me to say, it's about jobs. Jobs, 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 and that leads to economic development. But I'd be amiss if I would not, if you could, let me introduce, at least have my staff who's done tremendous work on this, the staff from DGS, just to raise your hand, led by Mr. Michael Gaines, the Assistant Secretary there. Thank you. They have committed many hours to this project. We will stay involved, as Secretary Skinner knows, until the very end. It'll be a joyful day when we finally move the DHCD over from Crownsville to Prince George's County. Again, thank you for having me. Thank you for the partnership. Thank you for all the projects that you're doing, and it's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I mentioned earlier the other TOD project that's going to go on across the tracks there, and that's under the leadership of our Department of Transportation. So I'm going to ask Secretary Jim Smith to come up and say a few words.
That Prince George's County has been untapped. But under the leadership of Rashawn Baker and the administration that he has put together, it's not going to be untapped anymore. It's going to be tapped over and over and over again. And in fact, I'll be looking for a place to rent in Prince George's County with all of the projects that are coming back, and you've heard them throughout, all those transit-oriented developments that are going to rise up around the transit stations when we have the Purple Line, which we are looking forward to breaking ground on in 2015. So, you know, we're going to be coming back. I'm going to be coming back again and again and again because Prince George's County is going to boom. It's great now, but you haven't seen nothing yet. I mean, it is going to be incredible. I would say your time has come, and it's come with the leadership of Rashawn Baker and the commitment of Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown and Governor Martin O'Malley. I mean, yes, promises made, promises were kept. But along with the promises kept, the planning and the support that the O'Malley-Brown administration has given to TOD development has played right into the future of Prince George's County, because that Purple Line is going to connect all those folks going into Washington, D.C. And around each one of those transit stations is there the opportunity to create that walkable, livable, playable area where people don't have to get in their cars and get to where they want to go. They'll be where they want to go when they're in their own homes, when they're in their own workplaces. And that smart, green, and growing dynamic has been fostered and promoted by the O'Malley-Brown administration throughout the state. But because of being untapped in the past, Prince George's is benefiting even more from it because you have so much that can respond to it. So it really is an exciting day here in Prince George's County. And I thank you for letting me be a small part of it. And I look forward to the tremendous progress that we're going to make working together. Congratulations.
Last but not least, I want to call on the council member in whose district we're standing, Council Member Eric Olson.
Thank you. Well, it is a pleasure to be here. In 2006, I was running for election for the first time to the county council. I was actually knocking on doors in this neighborhood. There were houses here along Cross Street. And, you know, you come up here, and we heard a lot about New Carrollton, Mayor Hanko, about the metro station and how we're going to develop it. I came up probably somewhere right around here and looked out here and said, okay, in 8 years, this is going to be transformed, right? We're going to have that development that we've all been talking about, Mayor Hanko. And well, we had a recession and we had a whole lot of things happen in the last 8 years. But I have to say, to stand here today, in my last year in the council, it is such a great thing to know that we're going to have transit-oriented development at New Carrollton. I think I also door knocked this precinct for someone in 2002, county executive. But anyway, it's really a tremendous thing, and not just in New Carrollton, not just in District 3, but all across our district, all across our county, and we've got a lot of things in the next 4 years. Mr. Lieutenant Governor, we're going to see so much more because of the leadership, the O'Malley Brown team, the county executive, the council. This is going to come out of the ground. We've been working, your staff, Mr. Iannucci, Mr. Frome, Mr. Thagard, have been working diligently to make these things happen. And I want to thank another group of people that often don't get thanked, and that's our planning staff. Because when I came in 2006, we didn't have a plan that was up to date for the New Carrollton Metro Station. In fact, we didn't have a plan for a lot of our stations. And what we decided is we need to go out to the community. And I want to thank my staff, Danielle Glaros and Wanda Brooks, who are both here, who worked with the community to form a vision, a walkable community, a transit-oriented community. And the planners worked with the community to make that vision possible. And I know we've talked with the Bermans, since all of this, and they've said it's a better plan. Their development here is a better product because of the planning that we and this planning staff did. So planning makes a real difference, and we're going to transform this area. It makes it a lot easier to facilitate the kind of transit-oriented development that we want. I want to also just say, the O'Malley Brown administration has done so much, to bring this product here, but also with the Purple Line to connect our communities, our job centers, to do everything they're doing for Largo with the medical system. We are truly, as the county executive said, a county on the move. We're a state on the move, and that's because of what's happening here in Prince George's County. So thank you all for being here. I want to thank the Bermans, especially Adam and Brian, who've done a tremendous amount of work on this. And we're looking forward to cutting that ribbon very soon. Thank you very much.